What is going on, you guys? Today I have another episode for you where we're going to be reviewing a YouTuber named Hamza, and the title of the video here is Signs That She's Wife Material. Let's get into it.
Jeffrey's on Discord, bored. He clicks on a random server and notices a girl talking in the chat. Nah, she's probably a guy anyway, but still, Jeffrey's obsessed. He replies to her chat with a sophisticated intellectual response. You're not a Reddit mod, are you, Jeffrey? That's not gonna work. Wait, she reacted to his message with a heart. Jeffrey's own heart is beating fast as he does the unthinkable. He adds her as a friend. She accepts right away. The two lovebirds start talking every day. Things are going so well. Jeffrey asks her to be his girlfriend and she says yes. He's in love. He's so happy. He's so, what the fuck? She's playing League of Legends with some other guy. She's live streaming. Who the fuck is this guy? He's flirting. He's making all these shit jokes and she's giggling to all of them. They're literally flirting publicly on the internet and she's loving it. Oh, the pain. Fuck. Jeffrey's blowing up her phone. He's honestly so sad. This was the only girl who's ever even shown an interest in him. And now he's lost her to this douchebag playing as Draven. Adonis sees Jeffrey crying next to his computer. She's playing League of Legends with another guy. Jeffrey, is this really your dream woman? A woman who chats with other guys on Discord, who flirts with them in front of your face? Or could it be that this is just the girl that you've decided to settle for? Jeffrey realizes his mistake. Together with Adonis's help, Jeffrey gets onto self-improvement, cuts out the bad habits, and transforms his life. Years of self-improvement later, Jeffrey is in a cafe with his beautiful wife. He's living his dream life. He sees Adonis. He nods. So that's why today I want to talk to you about actually finding a woman you're really, really happy with. What I'm about to tell you right now will work for you, and this will help you to find like a wife quality girl who you are. You know what's the most important part? It's not, I was gonna say who you're like really happy with, but there's even a better word than being happy with a woman. Certain. What I'm about to tell you right now will make you certain in a woman. When you're certain, that's when you can commit. That's when you don't have all those anxieties and questions in your mind. And there's 6 signs that I've been able to think of that she's wife quality for you. The first sign is that you can effectively communicate with her. So a loving relationship is really just conflict management. Like the way that you take a relationship to being like amazing through your entire life is basically just managing the conflicts that arise when two people kind of butt heads together. Because these moments will arise. And if you have a good skill at managing conflict, then you'll have longevity in your relationship. So what does this look like? It looks like, for example, sometimes she will do something that you don't like. If you can bring that up to her in a way that's not insulting, and then she takes it really well, that's a really good sign. So I can tell you, with the woman that I'm in love with, I remember the first time we like effectively communicated about something, I felt like a lot of girls have this. Her attitude was a bit of one that was a bit of a repellent. Like she had this attitude of like a yeah right attitude of like, you know, she was almost trying to push me away. And I said to her once, I was like, I don't know if you realize you're doing this or if you do it on purpose, but sometimes you act like that and it doesn't really make me feel good. Like I'm here running towards you and you feel like sometimes you're pushing me away, but I know that you want me as well. And she stopped and she was like, wow, like I didn't even realize I did that. And I said to her, like, I know you like me. I can tell that I know you love me. But why is it you do this then? Because it, you know, it hurts me when you do that. And she's like, oh, I've got no idea. I didn't even realize I really did that. Conflict resolved. I brought that up to her in a really level-headed, mature way. It hurt me, but I expressed it not like a pussy saying, whatever, and not in like an insulting, disrespectful way, but in quite a mature way where I told her, okay, this is just something which I don't really like right now and it doesn't really make me feel good. And she really took it so well. And then it stopped happening after that. And it's like, once you resolve a conflict, like, you know, this micro interpersonal dynamic that each of you could have, that one of you for some reason is like often a bit rude or whatever it is, when you bring it up in this way, it resolves and you move on to like the next level of your relationship. And this is one of the most important signs of like, if you're going to have a good relationship. The second sign, if she's wife quality.
That's so good. I mean, right? So like obviously, right, not being the guy who gets butt hurt all like, you know, like actually just managing it in a calm, cool way, right? Like, oh, it seemed like this happened. I felt this way when you did this. Is that what you meant to do? Right? Like, you know, you can talk through it very calmly and maybe share things with them like, oh, like it seems like maybe you're doing something like this. Like what you just talked about, like telling the girl something he noticed about what she was doing. And funny enough, like she was coachable in that situation. So that's a second really good sign there, right? It's just she's coachable. Like she notices the thing and she's like, actually taking accountability for it. She's like, oh, okay. Like of course, like I do actually care about you. So I'm going to take this into consideration, listen and hear you and actually follow that direction. Like work on not doing that again. That's so good. Cause there's people that get into like the toxic stuff and they're like having like these blowout fights and blah, blah, blah. And really like, there's no reason for you to be doing that when you can literally choose to be masculine and calm and lead that, you know, quote unquote disagreement or conflict in a chill way, right? So that's worth knowing if you have struggled with this in the past.
for you is how she responds to your bids for connection. So this was so interesting. There's a study that has found that the couples who stay together the longest have the highest percentage response to each other's bids for connection. A bid for connection is something we do when we basically just want the other person to like come closer to us and to be nice to us and give us attention. So it can be as simple as your girl literally texting you saying, how was your day? What she's really asking for is like, hey, can you talk to me? You could imagine, well, yeah, common sense, so you just reply back. Of course you would, right? But there's some guys who wouldn't reply back to that. There's some couples who don't respond to each other's bids for connection. You know, like someone will walk in and be like, oh, I've just had a really bad day. And the other person won't even acknowledge it. The couples that stay together, they're able to love each other in a way that they both really feel fulfilled by. So ask yourself this question. Let's say you're dating this girl already. Do you feel fulfilled by the way that she interacts with you and by the way that she loves you? Like, I'll tell you, okay? I've dated more like masculine women, like career-driven women before. And I remember being in the gym and like the girl would come in who I was dating. And it's like she wouldn't even see me because she was in like masculine drive mode. And I hated that. I really was so unfulfilled dating girls who were like masculine and like their mission, their goals is literally as a priority, like above coming over to see you. Like imagine that dynamic. You're in the gym, you see your girl walk in and she doesn't even look at you, or she doesn't even come up and hug you, or you know, if she does kind of see you, she kind of waves at you and then does her thing. That's it. Like you might think, oh, that's fine. But for me, I don't like that. If my girl walks into the gym, I want her to like run up to me, talk to me for a moment, and then she can do her workout afterwards, right? And there's no right or wrong answer with this. It's just what kind of dynamic do you want? So ask yourself, do you feel fulfilled by the love that she gives you? And then also ask yourself, do you think she feels fulfilled by the love that you give her? Do you love each other in similar ways? Like there's such a thing called love languages. Maybe my editor can have a picture up on screen. Do you know what yours is? And does she fulfill yours? One of the best things is when you have the same love language as your partner. You don't really need that, but when you do have it, it's so good. Like mine is physical touch. My partner's is physical touch. So we touch each other all the time. It's fucking awesome. Like she climbs all over me. I tell her like I actually feel so fulfilled. We'll literally just be hanging out and she'll randomly like literally start climbing all over me. She'll sit on my lap and everything. I fucking love that. That makes me feel so loved. And then because her love language is touch as well. So she feels loved as well. So it's like, do you see how like there's such a win-win? Imagine if your love language is touch. You really like touch, but the other person I personally couldn't handle that. The sixth sign that she's wife quality is that you think she's beautiful. This is so important and so many guys will overlook.
Something worth mentioning there too is the bids for connection thing. Like, watch out for that if you're dating a girl, or even it's not even like a dating thing specifically. Like your friends and your family will do it too, right? They'll reach out and they'll say something that is a bid for connection, right? Like you know, let's say I'm not into football, but like let's just say hypothetically, like your dad reaches out to you and says like, how about them, you know, I don't know, Steelers or something, right? Like some random like team, right? And so what he's really doing is looking to connect with you, start a conversation, see how things are going, actually spend some time with you, right? Like, you know, just have a deeper connection and reconnect if you haven't been talking for a while. So look out for that, right? Because you don't want to be like all like closed off and like butthurt and weird, right? Because again, like it's these other relationships or the person you're dating, don't ignore those things because they're gonna feel ignored, right? Even if it's something really small, like hey babe, do you want to watch a movie together? Check this out, right? If you do that, there's like another level to it too, right? Like, okay, you could watch the movie together, but you're kind of negating the bid for connection a little bit. If, for example, you're watching the movie together and one of you or both of you is just on the phone the whole time, you should actually be present, enjoying the movie, enjoying each other's company, maybe like a snack or something together, right? Like you're actually having that quality time together rather than, you know, doom scrolling and being distracted. So, and this is why it's so important, like when you go out with your date or your partner, not to have your phone with you, right? Or to keep it put away. Is you're actually showing them that you're interested and you care no matter how long you've been dating. It's a bid for connection.
This, but I really think if you want to really get like a wife, you need to think she's so beautiful to the point that you never want to stop showing her off, because the worst case scenario, you get a girl who's got like a nice personality and everything, but you're almost like slightly embarrassed that she's not like that hot, and that's just like, it's so unideal, because you should be with the woman that you think is so attractive that it's just like, you know, you're taken back by her beauty, that you put her on your phone lock screen because you're like, man, every time I open up my phone lock screen, I won't even show you a picture of her, but every time I open my phone, I'm like, holy fuck, she's beautiful. And I say it to her like literally 20 times a day, and every time I say it, like still now, even after seeing each other for months, she still kind of like gets a little bit nervous when I say it. It's fucking wholesome, right? I genuinely think she is such a beauty. And I said this to her yesterday, I was like, I'm actually kind of sad that I'm not like a normal guy, that I can't really show her on social media without, you know, like setting her up for so much chaos and headache when you show like pictures of your girl when you're like an influencer. Otherwise, I said to her, like, if I was just a normal guy with like a normal Instagram page, I'd be posting pictures of you all the time. I'd be showing you off. And she, like, you know, she appreciates, she completely understands. She doesn't want to be like famous or anything, right? But she completely understands. But you want to be with a girl who you really think is beautiful and you don't ever get like kind of embarrassed about. It sounds kind of fickle, maybe immature, of like, oh, well, you know, she needs to be hot so you can show her off to people. But I think that's so important. You don't want to bring your girl next to your friends, your family, and be slightly embarrassed thinking like, yeah, she's not that hot. People are going to judge you negatively for that. With your wife, with the official girl you want to be with, you want to be able to show her to the world proudly, like, oh, she is beautiful. Because the truth is, you can say it's shallow, but the truth is, we as men really care, and even women, we really care about our appearance, right? Women hope that you are attractive as well. So don't overlook this just because it doesn't sound as like cute to say like, yeah, I really want her to be hot, but it is such an important thing. The fourth sign, one that...
Yeah, I mean, and I totally agree with him. Like guys can be weird about it and say, oh, that's shallow, bro, blah, blah, blah. But like, you're attracted to them first, right? Like, people seem to forget that. So it's hilarious to me when guys say like, oh, dating apps, they're so superficial, right? It's like, no, it's literally the same reason you would want to get to know a girl that you pass by in public at the grocery store or something, like the gym, whatever, right? Oh, she's cute. Now I want to get to know her, right? It's easy as that. So, and on top of that, that's why there's literally no excuse. I know someone's going to watch this and like, they might be in this situation. There's really no excuse for when you're in a relationship for a while, right? And letting yourself go. You were attracted to each other for a specific reason in the beginning, and they want to see you grow. The dad bod thing is not okay, right? Like, and same thing for girls, right? Like letting themselves go. It's not all right? Because, you know, you want to continually be highly, genuinely interested in each other, like have this burning desire for each other for years, right? If you're meant to stay together, like imagine that, like everything dies off because of that. You have to keep improving.
I've personally went through was me telling my brother yesterday about this girl that I'm seeing, and he was like, oh, well, that's a surprise. I wasn't expecting you to just randomly say that, you know, you've met this girl who's amazing and everything. And I said to him like, yeah, you know what, for some reason, like, it seems right that when you meet the right girl, I'm not saying that, you know, anyone is like the one, like a soulmate, I'm not sure if I believe in that, but when you meet the girl who's like really right, who's like really wife quality, it's not, you don't get as many of the sort of anxious emotional high of like, wow, you know, amazing. It's more like this calm certainty of like, well, yeah, she is wife quality, that's it. It's like there's not much of an emotional high. Does that make sense? Like, I thought when you meet like the best quality woman that you've met, you'd be like, you know, crazy about it. But what's happened with me is it's more like this kind of stability, this certainty of like, yep, she's really wife quality, yep, I'd have children with her, yeah, I'd marry her. There's no extra emotion of like, yeah, I'd marry you or anything like that. It's just kind of like, it's just a logical fact, like, of course I would, why wouldn't I? It's like, of course, like, she's a high quality girl, she's beautiful, she's got really good values, we have the same goals and everything. It's like this level-headed certainty. And what I've seen in people who have been married and happily married, they all say the same thing. There wasn't that much infatuation, this like, you know, massive like honeymoon period that was full of intense emotions. It was just very logical. It was like, well, yeah, this is a person I'll marry. It's like, it's just a logical decision. Like, there's of course emotions and love involved. Like, this is the way to know if she's right for you. It'll feel like a brain dead decision of like, yeah, she's high quality, of course I'm gonna make her my girlfriend, of course I'm gonna marry her, of course I am. It's like, of course I would. Like, look at her. The fifth sign that she's wife quality is that your goals align with each other. So when you think about what you want for your life, your goals, your family life, the lifestyle, the way you want to live, when you speak about this to her, she reciprocates and she's like, oh my god, I wanted that as well. Imagine if you find out, for example, if your girl loves partying and you don't. Potentially a bit of a problem there. Your girl wants to live in the middle of a city and you want to live on a farm. Some incompatibility there. But when you say something like, I've been able to say such niche, like specific things of the way I want to live, and she'll say like, oh my god, me too. When you can match it that well, when you'll be like, oh, this is how I want to spend my day, I want to wake up at this time, these are the activities I want to do, and they reciprocate, that shows you a lot of compatibility for a long-term future together. And the best version of this isn't where you guys are speculating, oh, this is how I want to live. It's that you're living like that already. The girl I'm seeing, I knew that she was right for me when like we would just hang out and we would just read, like both of us reading separately. Like, she'd just come to my place and we'd literally just sit there and read together. And that's what I wanted to do at that hour. I didn't like change what I wanted to do. That's how you know if she's right for you. It's like, you just do what you want, and it just happens that she wants to do the same thing. Like, she was doing the same thing by herself anyway. For me, it was like we were reading at the same time, and I just clicked. I was like, oh yeah, like reading with you next to me, reading's fucking awesome. It's like so much more fun than just me reading by myself, which is already really fun as well. So get into these deep conversations and like really say to her, like, this is the way I expect to live. This is the kind of routine, the timetable, the schedule. This is where I want to live. This is the lifestyle. This is like how many kids I want. This is the way I want to raise my kids, and make sure you agree on all these things. The sixth sign that I can think of that she...
Yeah, I love that. Well, I mean, that's like a really good point. Is first you need to have the chemistry and the compatibility to create that connection, right? You have to have several aspects of this, because the compatibility alone isn't the only thing, right? Like if you have the compatibility, there could be something else missing, right? Like that genuine burning desire for each other, or maybe something else, right? But I love what he was saying, right? Because like a specific example, right, is like, it's not going to work if one wants kids and the other one doesn't. You should just cut that off early. You save both the time, really, or like the book thing, right? Like, because you could run into a situation where, like, the girl is not even interested in doing that, right? Or she would find it weird. Like, you want to read a book? Who reads books? Or like, you want to read a book while we're in the same room together? We could be hanging out doing something else, and like they're like acting weird about it, rather than being like, oh, I actually love books, and I would love to, basically just be in the same room as you. We can be quiet together. We don't need to talk. We can just read our books together, right? That's so awesome, right? I mean, like, so find those things that work for you.
Wife quality for you. You really respect her, and then you use your own judgment on that. I won't tell you specific things like her body count should be below 3 or 5, or she should have this or this or this. Just ask yourself in this gut feeling, do you respect her? You'll just know instantly. You will know your own boundaries. You'll know, you know what? No, I don't. I don't really respect her. You don't cope, don't lie, don't ask your big brain for a pros and cons list. Well, she's got this one good trait. No. Your gut and your heart will tell you within an instant. Do you respect this girl? If the answer is no, I'm not too sure you'd want to have a girl like that as like a wife. But if the answer is yes, of course I do. That's a really good sign.
Awesome, guys. Well, definitely an interesting video. Good stuff, good points in there, and good things to look out for, right? I mean, and one he didn't really dive into too much, but it's kind of like an obvious one, right? Is he talked about like the party girl versus the guy who's not interested in that, right? I mean, especially like if you're looking for, or you're open to potential long-term or wife material, mother material, right? Like that's not going to be the party girl. If you haven't figured that out, I hate to break it to you, right? But better that now than later. But anyways, right, thank you guys for watching, and go check out Hamza. He's got a great YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this video with someone that you think may benefit from the message, and I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.